Cricket World Cup 2015, Australia beat India to reach final. Australia powered into the World Cup final with the 95-run victory over defending champions India in Sydney. Steve Smith struck a fluent 105 from 93 balls and Aaron Finch 81 as Australia posted 328-7, the highest score in a World Cup semi-final. India made a solid start to their reply but lost 4 wickets for 32 runs and fell well short on 233 despite captain MS Dhoni making 65. Australia will meet fellow co-hosts New Zealand in Sunday's final in Melbourne. They will do so looking for their 5th World Cup crown. No other team has more than 2, and on the back of a 7th semi-final win in as many attempts. Former Australia captain Allan Border. Australia might have thought they were 20 or 30 short, but 328 has proven to be a very good score. The bowling and fielding for Australia was very good. It's a comprehensive win, a very professional performance. For India, the defence of the trophy they won on home soil 4 years ago in a run of 16 consecutive wins in major one-day tournaments, the World Cup and Champions Trophy, is over. They can reflect on how their top order fell apart after openers Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma put on 76 inside 13 overs, but perhaps Dhoni's biggest mistake was calling incorrectly at the toss. As a result, India, who failed to win any of the 10 matches on their tour of Australia that preceded the World Cup, were made to bowl first on a Sydney pitch that was full of runs. Even then, Australia failed to fully capitalise on the second wicket stand of 182 between Smith and Finch, as Michael Clarke's men were stunted by the off-breaks of Ravichandran Ashwin and a curious collective failure against back-of-a-length bowling. How's stat? The dismissal of Glenn Maxwell was the 500th catch in this World Cup. It is the first time there have been 500 catches in a World Cup. The previous most was 449 in 2003. Steve Smith is the first Australian to score 100 in a World Cup semi-final. He is the 5th man overall, after Graham Gooch, Saeed Anwar, Sourav Ganguly, and Melodji. Smith is the 2nd Australian to reach at least 50 in 4 consecutive World Cup innings after David Boon, 1987 to 1992. In all, 4 Australia batsmen were undone by the short ball, the first being David Warner, offering a leading edge to Umesh Yadav. That brought Smith to join Finch, who began with uncertainty and rarely looked at his best, but showed tenacity to support his free-scoring partner. With his familiar shuffle across the stumps, Smith whipped, clipped and pulled 3/4 of his runs through the leg side to become only the 5th man, and first Australian, to score 100 in a World Cup semi. As Smith and Finch traded sixes, Australia looked set to move out of sight, but Smith hooked a deep square leg off Yadav signalled a slowing of the pace. 4 wickets for 51 runs left Shane Watson and James Faulkner to rebuild momentum, with Mitchell Johnson's 9-ball 27 carrying Australia to a score they would have earlier seen to be the bare minimum. And Clarke's men were made to look vulnerable by Rohit and Dhawan, the former going after the short ball, the latter targeting Faulkner with drive after drive. How's stat? Only one team has chased 300+ successfully in any ODI at the SCG. Australia made 334 v England in 2011. No team has chased 300 in a World Cup knockout game. Australia have taken the most wickets between overs 11 and 20 in the tournament, 13 at 25.63. New Zealand are second with 12 at 31.41 where Haynes' wicket was the first India have lost in the batting power play in the tournament. They had scored 235 runs off 32 overs in the batting power play before that wicket. Fortune also seemed to be going India's way in what became an increasingly bad-tempered contest. Rohit was reprieved in the first over when an edge off Mitchell Starc was adjudged not to have carried to Watson at first slip. while Doughton was dropped by a flying Brad Haddin off Josh Hazlewood. Hazlewood, though, returned to have Doughton sky a catch to cover and, after Johnson's extra pace caused Virat Kohli to top edge and removed Rohit's leg bailed, Australia were rampant. Thank you for listening to News Today. Please subscribe for more. When Suresh Raina edged Faulkner, all seemed to rest on Dhoni, but his acceleration did not come until the 43rd over, with 121 required and only 4 wickets in hand. Glenn Maxwell's direct hit ensured the assault was not sustained, and any slim hopes India maintained departed with their captain. Thank you for listening to News Today. Please subscribe for more.